This is Anne from focusedandonfire.com. In these daily deposits, I'm talking about being more visible in your career, setting goals and making them happen, and getting things done without working harder, putting more pressure on yourself, or sleeping less. You ready? Today I want to talk about procrastination, and I want to talk about why you are procrastinating, so that once you know exactly why you are procrastinating, you know exactly what you need to change in order to stop procrastinating. And you can go from the habit of procrastination to the habit of following through and getting things done. So what I've done here is I've made this scheme, and this is a simplified scheme that is explaining what a habit looks like. And I'm talking about habits in the context of procrastination because procrastination fits perfectly into that simplified scheme of a habit. So what's happening within a habit? What is a habit? Well, there's a trigger, there's an action, and there's a reward. And so what's happening in the brain is the brain recognizes something, recognizes the trigger, and then boom, it goes into that action. And then at the other side of the action, there's a reward waiting. And this piece over here, this desire, is what is keeping that habit loop going. It's that desire for that reward that is keeping that habit loop doing its thing. So when we look at procrastination, that fits perfectly into that same scheme. I've used the example of a difficult email. Let's say that I need to write a difficult email and I want to write a difficult email and I'm not doing it. I find myself procrastinating. So what is happening there? So there's a trigger of the difficult email. And then my brain goes like, ooh, let's do something else. Let's do anything except writing that difficult email. So that is the action that my brain is going into. And then on the other side of that action of doing anything else but writing that email is the reward waiting. And the reward in this case is a sense of relief, a sense of feel good, a sense of pleasure, because I've been doing anything except writing that difficult email. I've escaped the discomfort of writing that difficult email to find the joy of checking the news, of chatting with a colleague, of doing a simple but unimportant task. Like I found the relief in doing something else, and I didn't have to face the discomfort of writing that difficult email. And so the desire here is also keeping that habit loop going. The desire for that relief, the desire for that feel good is keeping this habit loop of procrastination going. And what we tend to do when we want to stop procrastinating is that we are fighting that habit loop in our brain, and we are using willpower to fight back against the habit loop. But that is something that is really exhausting, and that is creating more discomfort in our brain. And what happens in the brain when the brain feels discomfort, it wants to find that relief and feel good. Now, as I said, like fighting the habit loop of procrastination with willpower is an exhausting solution, it's not a sustainable solution, and my guess is that you've experienced that in your life as well. For example, let's say you're writing a difficult email yourself and you feel this desire to check your emails, or to check the news, or to chat with a colleague, or to do this other task. And then maybe you can, by using willpower, you can refocus on the email once, and maybe twice ignore that news update, maybe 3 times ignore that news update, but then the 4th time you are gonna take your smartphone and check the news update. And so it's not a sustainable solution, it's an exhausting solution, and it's actually increasing the desire to do the thing that is gonna give us that sense of pleasure, that sense of relief, that sense of feel good, and anything that will have us avoid the discomfort of writing a difficult email. So what is a solution? Well, in order to find a solution, we need to not look at this part over here, but we need to look at this part over here. And that is the trigger, the difficult email. And so when we break that down, we can see that there's 2 parts in there. There's the email and there's the difficult. And when it comes to stopping our procrastination habit, we need to work on that difficult part, because the email in and of itself is just something neutral. It's a bunch of words that are written down, and that's all it is. It is a difficult part that is creating all the discomfort, and it is that discomfort that is driving the search of the brain for the relief and the feel good. And so we need to work on that difficult part, and you can find writing that email difficult for various reasons. And it can be because you believe that you don't have enough expertise to write that email, that you are new in the job, and that you are not experienced enough to write that email. You are afraid that you are going to voice your opinion in the email, and you're going to be getting some pushback on the email that you'll be sending out. You don't believe in the message that you're going to put in there, and that's why you feel reluctant to write it and send it. It can be that you are worried that people will read it and they will go like, "Ooh, I thought she would write better emails. What an ugly email. Like, the phrases, they're not good, and like it's not clear what she wants to say." Like, there can be all kinds of worries and doubts and fears going on when it comes to writing that email. And it is those worries and doubts and fears, that discomfort, that is triggering our search for relief and feel good, and that is triggering that procrastination loop. And so we need to work on that difficult portion and manage those emotions in a different way. Because what is going on right now is that our brain is using the procrastination loop to escape from the discomfort or the feelings. That is a coping mechanism that the brain has come up with, or one part of the brain has come up with. And what we need to do is to work on that difficult part in a different way. And we need to manage that unwanted emotion in a different way, using a different part of our brain, so that instead of being this difficult email, the email just becomes an email. No longer a difficult email, but just an email that we can then do as planned, and there's a reward waiting for us at the other side of doing as planned, and that's the reward of having accomplished something, of ticking off a thing that we got done. And so that is the habit of following through, where you have something that you want to get done, you do as planned, and you have the reward of having it done, of having made progress. And you go from the habit of procrastination to the habit of following through, not by pushing back against the procrastination loop, but by managing the unwanted emotion over here, and managing that unwanted emotion in a different way, using a different part of your brain, so that a difficult email is no longer a difficult email, but just an email that needs to get done. And so you do as planned, and boom, it's done. All right, so what I want you to take away from this video is that procrastination is driven by a desire to escape an unwanted emotion. And the solution that one part of our brain has come up with is to go into this do something else loop, so that there is this relief and feel good waiting for us. And instead of using our willpower to fight against that loop, the more sustainable solution is to deal with the unwanted emotion in a different way, in a more sustainable way, using another part of our brain, using the prefrontal cortex. And when you manage your unwanted emotion in a different way, the difficult email will become just an email, and then you can do as planned, and boom, you've got the reward of having done what you wanted to get done. And so going from procrastination to following through is not by using willpower and fighting against procrastination, it's by managing unwanted emotion. All right, I hope you found this helpful. See you in the next video. This was today's daily deposit. And now it's your turn. Imagine jumping out of bed in the morning, excited to get to work, instead of feeling unfulfilled, trapped, and snowed under by endless to-dos, hard work, and other people's expectations. You want to lead and make a difference. It's time for you to let all that potential out, one tiny daily deposit at a time. Are you ready? Well, I got something for you. Are you finding yourself procrastinating despite your drive and commitment to do great work? Well, let me tell you, you don't need more willpower, discipline, or a better planner to get things done. because those are not the reason why you find yourself procrastinating in the first place. Learn why you are procrastinating at focusandonfire.com/daily deposit and learn how to stop procrastinating and get really great at doing exactly what you said you were gonna do. And that's how you become unstoppable.